Hi, I'm Kelly from Kelly Jones Jewellery. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make these cute little heart pendants. They're made using a front drilled heart stone, just one piece of wire today, one piece of weaving wire, so something a bit simpler for you this week. Put a list in the description below of everything you'll need to make these lovely little pendants. So I've got a simple one for you today. To make this pendant, you'll just need the one wire, that's 11 inches, 28 centimetres of 0.8mm wire, that's 20 gauge. Weaving wire, I've got 0.315mm, which is 28 gauge. And you'll only need about 100 centimetres, I reckon, for this one. Wound mine onto a bobbin. This is a Bobeeze bobbin by Beadsmith. I prefer working with these now, it just stops the wire flailing about, and you can use longer lengths of weaving wire when you're working. I've got a front drilled stone today, so I'm using a heart shape and it's front drilled. I'll put a link on the screen of where I buy these from, but you can find them on Etsy as well. So mine is 25mm by 25mm. You can use any size you want for this design, but if yours is considerably larger, you might just want to add a little bit of extra wire. Tools today, we're just going to be using round nose pliers and cutters. There's not really much, because it's quite a simple one today, there's not really much going on that you're going to need a lot of tools for. We're just going to curl some ends and cut off some wires at the ends, and I think that's it. Oh, and I've put a list in the description below of all these things, so if you have missed anything or if you want to have another look, I've put a list on there of the tools. The list is of all the tools I generally use as well, so if you want to have a look at those, it's below the description. We're going to need a jump ring, and I totally forgot. I've just noticed and thought I'm sure I forgot something. Jump ring. This is a 10mm outside measurement. I make mine using bale pliers, just wrapping it around the bale pliers, and this is 1.5mm wire, that's 14 gauge. Right, so take your wire and find your centre point of your wire, and then position that centre point across the front of your stone there. So the centre point is just below the hole, and then where the hole is, hold on to that part of the wire where the hole was, so it's just to the left of the centre point. Pop your stone on to that point where the hole was, if that makes sense, and then bend this wire diagonally out to the side and bend the wire at the back up. Take this front wire and we're just going to put a gentle bend in that wire so it goes out to the side like that, and then hold the front tightly in place so the wires don't move, and bend this wire around to the back, and you want to bend it so it's quite tight around the stone. So you've got that. Turn it over. So you're looking at the back of the stone now. So it's going to keep trying to move around, so you've got to hold this side down here. And we're going to bend the wire up. So holding it down, we're going to scoop the wire up. So now the two wires come together at the top. So hold this wire here firmly, and we're going to take these two top wires and we're going to pull them over to the right, and then we're going to start weaving across these two wires. So take your weaving wire and we're going to start with 3 wraps around the bottom wire. Slide that all the way down to the bottom. And then we'll go 3 wraps around the both wires. And that's our repeat. 3 wraps around the bottom wire, 3 wraps around both wires. We'll start with about 12 repeats, I think, and then we can add more to it. So I got a bit carried away and I've done 15 repeats. Need to cut off that tail end there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put a bend in the weave. So make sure you've pushed all your weave together so it's all nice and tidy. And it still keeps moving about, so you're going to have to hold it down in place. And we're going to slowly start to put a bend in this weave. And as the wire comes around in this bend, we're going to bring it over the front of the stone. So doing it nice and slowly so you can see where the weave's going, so you can adjust it if you need to. We want it to come around so it meets that wire there at the front. So that's 15 repeats, and my stone is 25mm by 25mm, so you may need to add more or less depending on the size of your stone. And then when it gets to there, you need to take your bobbin off your wire. Because I'm only using 100 centimetres, my bobbins just fell straight off. So what we're going to do is we're going to now attach to that wire there where we meet it. So I'm going to let it lift up a little bit just to pop my wire in. I forgot I could do that. So put your wire all the way around, because we want to strap this weave to that wire. We're going to secure it down. So I've gone around that single wire, pull it back down in place. And I'm going to go around as if I'm doing another repeat of this weave, around as if I'm doing another repeat of this weave. And then I'm going to go back. I can just catch the end of my wire. I'm going to go back under that wire. So I'm attaching around it twice so it's attached to it nice properly. So I've just gone around that wire a few times. And then I should carry on adding weave repeats to those 2 wires. So carry on with your weave now. So we've just attached it to that single wire to hold it in place, and now we're going to carry on adding weave repeats down there. So please mention me, a Kelly Jones design, when you're sharing your work online, and I would love if you could tag me so I can come and have a look at the finished work you've done from my tutorials. It's lovely to see you've finished work done from my designs, and thank you to everybody who already has mentioned me. I really do appreciate it. And please don't show any images of the back, because it does give the design away. Thanks everybody. Another thing is, when you're at this point here, to make this design look effective, you want to make sure that this weave, when you look at this weave, that you can't see the hole or the wire. We want to cover that up. So pull your weave up higher to hide the hole and the wire there, so that when it comes across you can't see it. I think that looks so much more better than if you could see the hole and it's obvious what we've done. So push your weave right the way up to the top of that wire there. So I've repeated that weave. I've tried to guess how many weave repeats I'm going to need, because I've bent this over the side. I want the weaves to come all the way to here. So this is going to come down, and you want to kind of match up the shape with the other side. I'll try and hold that side down now. So you want to try and match up this shape. So as this curves, you want that to curve as well. So hold the front down when you're happy with the shape. Oh, and you've got to make sure that your weave is high enough to cover the hole at the front there. Then hold the front and take the wire, the weave, around to the back. Squeeze that really tight around the side of the stone. So add or take weave repeats so that your weave reaches the bare wire on the back. So I've added another repeat, just the one onto that. And then pull on that wire to get it nice and tight. We're going to cut it. So now we're going to take this wire here, and I'm going to wrap it around this back wire. So I'm just making a little gap behind the wire there. So I'm actually going to cut this wire just to make it a bit easier to do this next part. So I'll cut it, and what I'm going to do is I've made a little gap there. I'm going to wrap this little wire around the back wire. So I'm using my round nose pliers, and I'm just going to scoop it around that wire. And I'm going to pull it quite tight actually, so that it holds it in place. And I'm going to bend it around again so it's really nicely held. And I'm going to cut it off there. So check your shape on the front is how you want it to look before you start cutting any wires. And then pull it nice and tight and cut it off nice and short. And then take this last wire, and I'm going to scoop it around, and I'm going to tuck it behind the wire. And I'm going to pull it around. I want it to sit straight there. But I want a nice curve shape on the wire. And then I'm going to take this wire and wrap it around this wire here. So I'm going to cut it just to make it a bit easier. And I'm going to bend this wire around. It's so hard doing it behind the camera. I can see what I'm doing when I've got it in my lap. Wrap it around. But I want to keep that little loop in the wire because I like that. Straightening it up. And I'm just going to pull it around nice and tight. Pushing it against the stone. I'm going to level that up pull it all together a bit. I'm going to cut that wire. Cut that wire. And I'm going to curl it that way, just to finish it off. Little curl on the back. My curl's gone under the wire, it doesn't matter. So that's my back. And that's my front. It's got a nice simple design. Just a little bit fiddly when it comes to holding it around the stone. You can finish it off however you like, really. I just thought that was nice and secure. And it finishes it off to look a bit pretty. Just need to pop the jump ring on and need your pliers for the jump ring. But there we have it. Just need to oxidise it and it'll be done. I hope you found this tutorial easy to follow. And I didn't confuse you too much with it. Nice little simple one wire pendant for a change. Thank you for everybody who has subscribed to my channel. I really appreciate all the love and support. And please, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and I'll see you in the next video.